Mainly what happened is in practicing and seeing patients, I started to recognize that almost every patient that was coming to see me, when they would mark off on a review of symptoms, so it's basically a long checklist of symptoms, not just about your bowel symptoms, but how you're doing with other things related to your body, we're marking off sleep disturbances. So I started to question, what's going on here? Why are so many of our patients complaining of sleep disturbances? And there was some other data that's existed in both animal models as well as in other disease states looking at sleep quality. So it's something that we looked a little bit deeper into, and there's been several studies published and some of the stuff that we put out there. Obviously, everyone knows how important sleep is, right? If we miss, just a couple hours of sleep, our day is different. We're not functioning as well as we normally do. But I'm sure that many of our IBD patients can relate to that. And we know that good sleep quality, so not just sleeping, but getting good sleep quality is important for everyone, but especially our patients with chronic inflammatory conditions. There's been several studies, in one of them being ours, that have shown the importance of IBD and poor sleep quality. So shift workers, those with either too much or too little sleep, those with fragmented sleep or a co-diagnosis of obstructive sleep apnea, those patients were more likely to go on to develop IBD. So at the time, they didn't have IBD, but in the future, they were more likely to develop IBD because of these sleep pattern disruptions. Now, studies like this are challenging to interpret, and you can't just blame one particular factor. So, but it is a window into potentially an opportunity to help patients do better long term by addressing something that probably many of your viewers don't ever talk about with their provider, or they don't ever think that it could be related to their IBD. Further studies then went on to confirm that poor sleep quality, even when patients are feeling well, their disease has been in remission for years, they have no active inflammation, but just poor sleep quality, either as it's perceived by the patient, or let's say using an Apple Watch or some sort of Fitbit device, shows you that you're having fragmented sleep, is a predictor for future relapse in the next 3 to 6 months. So sleep quality is good. Good sleep quality is important. So how can we help our patients understand what to do? Because just telling somebody, get a good night's sleep, isn't very helpful. So I think that what patients can do and your viewers can do is discuss their concerns about their sleep quality with their provider, either because they feel like they have poor sleep quality, or they're looking at their Apple Watch and their Apple Watch tells them that they are up most of the night, even though they feel like they've been laying in bed for 6 to 8 hours. And then making sleep hygiene a priority. And many people, including myself, before I got involved with this, had no idea what that meant, right? And I imagine, Swati, you may not know what that means to have good sleep quality. So I often discuss what this means with my patients, and then often partner with one of our sleep specialists. And we have an excellent sleep program here at University of Michigan, and refer our patients frequently to the sleep program so that they can work with them in terms of improving their sleep quality. So I can give you some take-home things that I often talk to patients about. Is only going to bed when you're tired. Seems self-explanatory, but many of us get into bed sometimes where we're not really tired. We might be wound up. We've got a lot of things on our mind. When able, trying to having a consistent bedtime. Easier said than done. Avoiding electronic devices. This is a big one before bed, especially 30 minutes before bed. Electronic devices, this is your Apple Watch, this is your iPad, this is your iPhone or your Android or even your computer or a television. They emit a blue light, and this blue light actually works to suppress melatonin. Melatonin is very important for you being able to fall asleep. So if you're suppressing a peak of melatonin, it's going to take you longer to fall asleep. Couple things is just avoiding any devices in your bedroom at all, or using blue blocker glasses. You can often turn a blue light filter on either your iPad or your iPhone, which could help. But I think a good rule of thumb to avoid bad habits, so you're not working in bed or doing things where you should be sleeping, is to really just avoid devices in the bedroom that can result in suppression of your melatonin. I tell patients to avoid food, alcohol, and caffeine for a period of time before bedtime, as that can only work against you. And then I often refer my patients to a very great website called www.sleepeducation.org, which has incredible tips about how you can improve your sleep hygiene. Even if you just took a couple of those tips, I think that people would probably sleep better.